So, this one's gonna be again about another James Clear article on jamesclear.com website, and I hope it's gonna be a good one. I assume it's gonna be a good one. I actually assume it's gonna be an amazing one, because all of his articles have been amazing so far. But yeah, even though I would have liked to go through something else, because I'm featuring his articles and also his websites for quite some time now, and I wanted to search for something new, for something else. But the thing is, it is really not that easy. It is really, really, really not that easy, especially if you are in a hurry, then it is really not easy. But yeah, I'll see you after the intro, the motherfucking intro. So yeah, with that actually being said, hello and welcome back to the next episode of the Self-Development with Tactics fucking podcast. This time I actually managed to drink some water during the day, so I hope that I'm not gonna feel dizzy so quickly or as quickly as I felt it yesterday, because of all the talking, because of, me not eating enough. But I think it is just really about drinking, because I'm actually drinking nothing. Yesterday I think it was probably like one glass of juice or something, actually 1/4 of a glass of juice. Before I started to record, actually, because I thought this is gonna do it. But it didn't do it. This was the downside of it. The thing is, so just, yesterday, besides the one glass before the recording, I was probably just drinking something while I was eating something. But yeah, that's quite it then, and it should really not be the case. You should really drink way more than I'm doing, Just make a habit out of it, Just make a habit out of drinking by, using the paperclip strategy. I've done a video, or I've recorded a video on the paperclip strategy. Check it out to see how you can actually transform certain things, certain movements or tasks, whatever, to a habit with one simple trick using paperclips. And I do not actually want you to go through this one, because I could tell you just pretty quickly. For every time you're drinking a glass of water, you're going to move 1 out of 10, let's say 1 out of 10 paperclips from one jar, which is full, to another one that is empty. It just really reminds me and also you, or it would remind me, but it will remind you on the fact that you have to drink something, because you see, okay, there is 8 paperclips left, therefore I'm just having to drink something. Or, and also just really shows your progress. Okay, I have already been drinking 2 fucking glasses of water, which is amazing. It's totally better than nothing. It is totally good, actually, For me, it would be amazing. I'm really not drinking anything, and I should definitely change that up. So the paperclip strategy, or you could also use some marbles or whatever it is. But yeah, use this strategy and see if it is working for you. I think it is working for you. But you might also be doing something else that is just coming more natural to you than the paperclip or marble or whatever strategy. But yeah, I haven't actually mentioned the title of this article that we're going to go through today, but it is called "What is actually required for success?" And I think it is actually a pretty good question, and I hope that it is going to lead me to some other things that I can then talk about, because this is one of the main reasons why I even go through articles. One of the other reasons is that I don't know everything, and even though I might be saying something, because I'm just really not such a person that you can believe in, maybe, because I'm not having a lot of subscribers, I'm not having a lot of views, I'm not having a lot of anything, at this point in time. And therefore, I don't know if I'm so credible, if you can trust in me. So I don't really know if people can believe in me, believe in what I'm saying, believe in whatever. Therefore, I'm just having an article, from people you can believe in, from people that are just pretty successful as well, in terms of James Clear. It is definitely the case, with his books and whatever. But yeah, without losing any further or any time further or something, I don't know. Let's just go ahead with the article. So what is actually required for success? For over 1 year, I trained with the great folks at Columbus Weightlifting. I don't know them, unfortunately, I guess. So one of our lifters, Heather, he's called Heather, joined the team and didn't have a pair of weightlifting shoes. So she borrowed a beat-up pair that was riddled with crackled leather. And they were easily over 10 years old. For months, I could come into the gym and there was Heather, working her butt off in those crappy old shoes. So what happened? She qualified to compete in the national championships with shoes that were barely holding themselves together. Results like that serve as a reminder of what is actually required for success. And it seems actually to be the case, and it is really important for me to just really now point out, also in terms of, okay, podcasts and YouTube and the whole social media game, like, it's not going to be about the quality, it's not going to be about the equipment that you're using. It is not going to be about, I don't know, it's not going to be about the quality stuff, I still believe that editing can do just really good for your things, For some people it might be, and for some genres of just videos it has to actually be the case sometimes, unless you're doing it live like I'm doing it. But it could really do something. It could really do something to your product or your just content and whatever. It is just, it is a way to actually step up your whole game, at my point of view at least. But the thing is, I'm using a phone, to record my voice, and I believe that it is actually a pretty good quality, and I haven't paid anything for it, because I had my phone, I had a phone before, and by just using it as a microphone, it works. It might not be the best quality, and for the podcast, it might not be as just, noise-free than a regular quote-unquote microphone, but it works for me, And if I'm just talking about something that might be important for someone, people are gonna listen, If the quality is somehow decent, and that's not really shitty, because I assume, and I also think that, okay, if the quality is really shitty, like really shit, unless it is totally something that this particular person or some particular people need, people are not gonna just watch it, or at least they're not gonna feel just incredibly good about watching it, I assume. But, on the other hand, your quality doesn't have to be just like a movie, doesn't have to be just $1 million production, yeah. But it really also comes up to who you are, how you act in front of the camera, how you speak, what your voice is like, what you're talking about, and all those things. So basically, like, the content itself, and also your person, like, which I'm including into the content as well. But quality doesn't matter too much, If you're a person that people are willing to listen to, they are gonna listen. And if you're producing content that people are willing to just get, to listen to have, to whatever, to watch, they are gonna watch and listen and have and buy and whatever. But but if you're a person that nobody wants to listen to, or you're just talking about something that's, so many other people are talking about, that might be just, they might have been there just before you. It's also about, okay, who was first and whatsoever. This is definitely really important up to this point. But figure out how you can just really step up your game without actually, without changing something about the quality, because the quality itself does not often have something to do, or does often not have anything to do with how well received your content is, at least at my point of view. This is my personal opinion, but I've just seen this. I've seen other people talking about this exact same thing as well. Also, like the head of trends and culture from YouTube itself. It is just really interesting. It really is interesting. When you're a person that people like, if you're charismatic, if you're like something, then the people are gonna listen. And people are gonna watch, and people are gonna just need you and whatsoever. Is really important. Really important, and also really, really, really fucking interesting. So think about all of the things you assume that you need to succeed. The right gear, the right credentials, the right experiences, the right degree. How much is the stuff really worth? ? So how much of it is actually required for success? And it seems actually the case that it is 10%, I assume, because the next headline is wasting time on the last 10%. We love to obsess over tactics and strategies to make strategies that make the last 10% difference. For example, didn't have a good workout? Well, then let's debate all of the reasons why it could have been something other than you. Maybe you need to have your sport workout protein shake 30 minutes after working out instead of 60 minutes after working out. Maybe you need to get better pairs of shoes, or a belt, or a sweat-wicking shirt, or knee sleeves. Maybe you need these things, The thing is, maybe you actually need these things, I'm not going to be like, okay, you don't need them, especially when it is about health and working out. we sometimes need gear, but we do not need the best gear, and nor do we need just gear in general sometimes. This is the other side of the hand, or the other side of the coin that I'm just flipping now, This is the flipping motion. Yeah, never mind. But yeah, he's basically saying the exact same thing as I was talking about before. We don't need the gear. You don't need the gear. I don't need the gear. And it is basically like we are trying to be faster. We are trying to get results faster. And this is, and we think that because I'm also, including myself, because I also just sometimes see that I'm thinking the exact same way. I sometimes think, okay, I'm gonna buy me a new microphone, because I somehow feel like, okay, the quality is not good enough. It is merely about the quality, and also because I then think that people are gonna listen, just because of the new microphone. But the thing is, will they, or would people listen just because I have a new microphone? I guess actually not, unless people just actually see something in my content that they need, something of value, then they're gonna watch. But it is not about the microphone. It might be good just, I don't know, if you are in the process, if you have some people that are listening to you, if you have some people that are watching to you, then actually stepping up your just production value might be something that's pretty good. Having just some noise-free audio when you have a podcast, it is nice, it is amazing, and people are going to just really appreciate that. But do you have to start with it? I really don't think so. But let's see, let's see what James Clear is saying. So what's incredible is that these are things we actually waste time on. I've heard all of those crazy excuses mentioned in conversations. I've even said some of them myself. So why? Because it is easier to waste time debating the last 10% of improvement than it is to just do the thing that makes 90% of the difference. Yeah, it is definitely way easier to just think about those things that you do not have, rather than just doing or acting on those things that you already have. Exact same thing, like, okay, I'm not gonna start my podcast because I'm not having a microphone. You have a fucking phone, motherfucker. You can use your fucking phone, when you have figured it out, because, it is like a little bit complicated, and I even do not remember how I did it. It is such a long time ago, or it happened such a long time ago, actually, really actually. So it is easier to claim that you need a better diet plan or a new workout template or a different gear than it is to admit that what you really need is to not miss a workout for the next 6 months. Yeah, definitely. So these same ideas hold true for diets and nutrition, business and entrepreneurship, writing and art, and virtually any other endeavor we attempt. We want strategies that scale, we want tactics that are optimized, but eventually you realize that the biggest difference between success and failure comes from mastering the fundamentals. For me, in terms of the podcast, it might be speaking, it might be storytelling, it might be just sounding a way that is nice to listen to. And right at this moment, it might not be the case. I'm sorry. Let's see. So maybe a faster computer will make Stephen King a better writer. For sure, it is gonna be the case, of course, because he has already mastered the fundamentals of writing every day. I was sarcastic before, but it definitely makes sense, that what he's pointing out. And this is basically also what I said about, like, okay, if you are in the process, if you have an audience, if you have some people that are listening or watching or whatever, then of course they are going to just appreciate when you try to step up your game, if you try to just make the content even better or even more efficient for you and or for the people, because when you're more efficient, then you have the ability to just put out more content, which I guess people are just really feeling good about, if they just really, really, really like your shit, they are also gonna just, I don't know, they're going to appreciate the fact that you're trying to put out even more shit. Maybe optimal meal timing will make an Olympic swimmer a better athlete, because she has already mastered the fundamentals of eating healthy and training hard. Maybe a better guitar will make Eric Clapton a better musician, because he already mastered the fundamentals of playing consistently. But for most of us, for most of us, the final 10% of optimization will rarely lead to the difference we are looking to achieve, because we have to do something. We have to do something about those things that we already know about. This is at least what I believe in. And this is also what I'm trying to do. And always when I just hear myself just saying something like, okay, you have to buy yourself a microphone, then everything is gonna be okay. And people are going to finally listen to it. It sounds really sad. Like it really sounds sad. But things like, when I hear myself or hear myself thinking this or hear myself saying this, then I'm telling myself, no, you have to figure out just how to make better content. You have to figure out how to be just more likable, maybe, or you have to figure out how to do it better, or you have to figure out how to actually be able to cut your things so that you can actually make it better, I assume. Because for me, editing your thing, whatever it might be, and or just let's actually say just pushing more effort and or putting more effort into the whole process of doing it has nothing to do with just, I don't know, quality as such or outside quality, which means like, okay, having a new camera, having a new microphone, having a new PC, whatever. For me, it is something different. For me, it just has something to do with the content, because as I said before, some genres, quote unquote, of content just, they just really, they do not need editing, but it just really makes them good. It really makes them something different. It can really make them something that is pretty much unique to what you're doing, because a lot of people might be doing the exact same thing that I'm doing, which is talking about self-help and talking about self-development. But of course, nobody is like me. Nobody is talking like me. Nobody is acting like me. And maybe also nobody is having the exact same editing that I'm having, even though it is live, even though there's nothing imposed. It might be the case, I don't know, unless somebody is actually copying me, but I assume it is not the case. I really assume that it is not the case. Up to this point, at least, up to this point, maybe it's gonna come, but I guess nah. The greatest skill. Here's the single greatest skill in any endeavor: doing the work. Not doing the work that is easy for you to do, not doing the work that makes you look good, not doing the work when you feel inspired, just doing the work. You might not be brilliant, you might not be a brilliant writer, but if you actually write something each week, then you will be better than most because you're doing the work. You might not be an incredible athlete, but if you never miss workouts, then you will be better than most because you're doing the work. You might not be as savvy. Is it savvy? I guess it is actually savvy, because I don't know, savvy business person. But if you make a point to serve your customers every single day, then you will be better than most because you're doing the work. And so it goes for any and every challenge we face. People love to soak in the details, search for new tactics, and debate the things that make a difference or a tiny difference. But at the end of the day, the greatest skill is always doing the work that's what makes the difference between professionals and amateurs. And it is definitely the case, We all like to just read the new business book. We all like to go through this article. We all like to just spend time on not doing things, but gathering knowledge, pondering around, just acting like, okay, reading and listening, whatever it is, to content is actually doing the work. It sometimes feels the way. It sometimes actually feels the way that, okay, I'm listening to Gary Vee podcast. I'm doing something for my life. I'm doing something for my business. I'm doing something for my mindset or motivation. It sometimes really feels like I'm doing the work, but in the end, I'm merely listening to somebody. I'm actually then listening to somebody that is doing the work, but I myself, I'm not doing the work. I'm listening to some content. I'm gathering knowledge. I'm trying to just learn something, but it is not doing the work. It is learning something, but it is not doing the work. It is really important, and it is still important. I do not want to say that gathering knowledge is bad or something. We need to do it, to some degree, and we also should act on what we know, which is very, very, very important. At least, not only at least at my point of view. I think a lot of people think that way, but doing is not dreaming, and doing is definitely not learning, and doing is not watching, doing is not listening. Doing is doing. Something really important, because people don't do And I'm glad, the faster you start, the happier you're gonna be after a year just doing it, because I'm really grateful. I'm so grateful. I can't even explain it. I can't even just tell it to you or just show you to some degree how grateful I am that I actually started this amazing journey. This amazing journey of uploading something every single day, every day. Every day, but I think 2 days or something where I've just had some problems with uploading and whatsoever, and then I don't know, missed everything and whatsoever. But that's fine. Like, I've been uploading pretty consistently up to this point, and it feels amazing for me because I know I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop this habit because I've been in this game, or I have been doing this game for such a long time that it would be just like, yeah, no, I do not want to do it. I really do not want to stop. Because also it is just a lot of fun for me, and because it is something that I every day when I'm coming home or when I'm heading home, it is the only thing that I'm thinking about actually, besides maybe taking a shit or something when I really have to. But most of the time I'm really thinking about the podcast. I'm thinking about the content. I'm thinking about having to do or make or produce some content, and it feels great for me, because I'm having some sort of a purpose in my life, or found a purpose in my life, and my purpose definitely is trying to just help somebody. Yeah, and trying to make this somehow successful as well. This is also some of my purposes to some degree. Just but in the end, I think, or at least hope, able to help somebody out there, and it would really feel amazing. And today I've actually gained a new subscriber, which is insane. I now have 20. 20 might not be a lot, it might definitely not be a lot, considering the nearly 500 videos that I've uploaded. But I guess, yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be a long-term thing, or I'm just trying to make a long-term thing out of it. This is what I'm thinking about. I don't know, just, having some viewers would be great. It would really be great. But the thing is, I think it's gonna come. I do just have to do the work. I do just have to be patient and do the work and sit here and also love the process. Because if I hate the process, then becoming successful with what I'm doing here, yeah, chances are gonna be nearly zero. Because if I hate every single day and every single episode that I'm recording, like, no, I'm not going to put in the effort. I'm not going to put in the work. Yeah, it wouldn't make any sense. It would really not make any sense, So what you don't need a better computer to become a good writer. You don't need a better guitar to learn how to play. You don't need a better camera to become a good photographer. You don't need more experience to become a public speaker, and you don't need more credentials to build a business. And you don't need awesome weightlifting shoes to become a good weightlifter. You don't need any of it. What you do need is to make a decision, set a schedule, and get started. What you need is to do the work. And if I actually remember correctly, it is also something that Seth Godin was talking about relatively recently. I think, well, relatively is really relative, therefore I've actually been using this word because I really don't remember, but it somehow feels for me that it hasn't been a long time since then. But the thing is, doing the work is important. Doing the work is just so important, because if you do not do the work, then nothing's gonna happen. If I'm not recording anything, then yeah, there's not gonna be a podcast. There's not gonna be something. There's not gonna be one recording. There's not going to be something. If I don't do something, there is nothing. It is what it is, and it makes sense. But still, I think it is very unfortunate that a lot of people like to read, like to think, like to dream, but they never do, unfortunately. And I do believe also that, yeah, there could have been so many amazing things, just because somebody didn't do something about the ideas he or she had, we don't have anything now at this point in time. There might have been something really life-changing. There might have been just some really life-changing things in somebody's mind, and they thought about doing it, but in the end they didn't do it, unfortunately. Because we all could have just been really happy about it, and or have they could have contributed us, to humanity. I don't know, yeah. So, I don't know. Do you have something in your mind that you would like to do? it's like a pretty interesting atmosphere that I'm having in this particular episode. It's like really, really energetic. Really like this side of me, and do I hate it? Do I like it? Something in between, I could also be like more just, I don't know. I think it is fine. Let's let it be fine. I'm not gonna judge my work. I think I'm just, I'm going to let it judge by the people that are hopefully listening to it or hopefully watching it or something. But yeah, as always, it has actually been a pretty great article, and also a relatively short one. This is what I also really like, because I don't know, like, the thing is, going through an article that is really long and really deep is great, but going through a lot of articles on just some different topics, just a wide variety, or is it a wide variety? I think it is a wide variety of different topics is also pretty great, even though it is like, I think, I do not want to say common, but it is like, well, let's say it's a common kind of debate between like, okay, what is better, depth or just width, because I believe that both is good, but we have to figure out what it is for us, I don't know, I could have a podcast on something that is so narrow but so deep, I could just make a podcast on sleeping better on water mattresses, if they're called like this. I don't actually know. I really don't know. The thing is, I could be doing this, but I could also be just doing a podcast on sleeping in general, which is a very, very wide thing, which is a really just widely spreaded topic. Topic. Topic is a good word for that. Topic is just a good word for that. Yeah. And just because I haven't done, James Clear always donates to the Against Malaria Foundation, which I think is amazing, because it is by givewell.org one of the best charities you can donate to, just because they also do their work. They also just use the money for what it is meant to be used for, and not for some organizational shit. At least they're trying to just minimize the money they use for organizational shit, which is definitely important, as far as I know, but for that, I would really suggest you to go to givewell.org, I guess, and there is a list of the best charities you can donate to, which is amazing, which is really amazing, because there are so many different charity companies outside there, and I often don't know, or I didn't know, what is the best one. I didn't know where I should just send my money to, because I don't know, I was feeling like just donating something to somebody because I wanted to do something good, and I didn't know what to do, and then I looked up just GiveWell, just because I've also seen the site being featured on an Austrian newspaper site, and I thought like, well, then it's gonna be pretty good, I assume. Not because of the newspaper alone, but the combination of the newspaper and some other sites, and also I think it was somebody else that was suggesting that. But yeah, it is a great site to figure out where to donate to, and yeah, the Against Malaria Foundation is definitely one of the top spots they have on their website, on the givewell.org website, and it is good. I think it is good. It is good. I didn't actually know before that malaria is such an issue on this planet. I obviously knew about it and whatever, but I didn't knew that it was such a severe issue, because it really is, and also worms. Deworming programs and deworming charities are relatively prominent there, on the givewell.org site. And maybe consider donating some money to this foundation. Would be great, I guess. But please, before you do this, just really look up all the all the charities that might be good for you, in terms of, okay, you feeling good giving your money to them, because please do it. Please do it for yourself. I do not want to tell you where to donate your money to, because it's something very subjective, first of all, and second of all, I don't know. Maybe things have changed, and this website is, the Against Malaria Foundation is pretty shitty now, you know. I don't know. But yeah, with that being said, and already being quite 24 minutes in, yeah, now it's gonna be just 30 minutes, not 24, but 30 minutes. Yeah, I think this is quite it, or this is gonna be it. I hope that you've learned something. I hope that you've just had a good time, you know, which is something that I always look forward to do as well. You know, I do not only want to just spread information and want to talk about something that is really serious, but I also just want to have you, or want to let you have, or something, a good time. You know what I mean? You know, I do just want you to be happy. You know, this is quite it. Don't forget to rate this episode, you know, like or dislike, and also rate the podcast if you would like to. And also don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and also to the YouTube channel if you want to see me talking and reading the articles and not talking about something. But if you only want to have the audio experience of it and only want to listen to it while you're on the go, which is definitely very, very efficient, then check out all the podcasts. It is on Spotify, it is on Apple Podcast, it is on TuneIn, it is quite everywhere, you know. Where you are, there's also going to be the podcast, you know. I at least hope, you know, as far as I know. But with that being said, thank you very much. I wish you the best health, happiness, and also success. And I also hope that you're going to remind yourself on how you're going to be remembered, you know, which basically means your legacy, because we can shape it. But something to be said is, and something that I'm always going to say, hopefully, is that, no matter how nice you are and no matter how generous and good you are, there's still going to be someone that doesn't like you. Yeah, but I think legacy is meant to be something relatively broad, and it's not going to be just, only because one person just doesn't like me, I'm not going to be having a good legacy. I think it is not the case. And also think about your purpose, and some questions that might help you with that are, what are you trying to change? What is bothering you the most? What really pisses you off? And or on, I don't know the shit. And the last one is, why are you here? Why are you here on this planet? And what are you trying to change? Because I forgot what I said before. But yeah, I wish you the best. I see you hopefully soon. Please subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you the next time. Thank you.